Hello and welcome to my preparation for Grand Prix Antwerp. We're still playing against DGK, or at least we're playing against them again. This is in the future. I think we want the Molten Rains and the Sowing Salt just to slow him down. We don't want the Pot of Exiles in here, we don't want the Might of Alara, it's not good enough. But the rest is, I think the rest of the cards are decent, maybe not Steplings, but I think they're good enough. And what else would we want in, right? Maybe the Relics, just to cantrip. But the pots don't do a lot against him, whereas all the rest does, and Molten Rain does damage, and Sowing Salt gets rid of all the colonnades. So I think that's good enough. I'm not sure how UWR sides, they probably bring in more Pyroclasms. So we did go 1-4 main deck. This is sideboard though, and we do have a Sowing Salt. So we'll open with a Hell Fountain Steplings. We go down to 18, and we end our turn. So next turn we attack for 4 if he doesn't have a Lightning Bolt. And then the turn after we can play Lingering Souls. If he has removal for those, we can finally go and do a great amount of damage. So here we draw Deathrite Shaman. So I think we want to get Blood Crypt or something. The question is, do we want to cast it? I think we do. Where's Blood Crypt? So we lose an extra 2. We attack for 4. And we play Deathrite Shaman. So if he has a Pyroclasm, he has a Pyroclasm. He's 2 for 1ing us, that's fine. Basically this allows us to mana accelerate in the Sowing Salt next turn. It does remove it from play, right? Yep. So if he doesn't have... yeah, he has a Colonnade. That's great. That's not so great. What is he gonna target though? Is he gonna target Steplings? No, he's gonna kill the Deathrite Shaman. That's a bit annoying that he has the Bolt there. If he didn't have it, the Sowing Salt is gonna wreck his face. Sadly enough, he did have it, so here we get a Stomping Grounds, and we'll keep it untapped, so we can play Lingering Souls. Our life total isn't that relevant compared to his. So there it takes the damage, we play Lingering Souls. We create 1-1 flying tokens. I'm surprised I can't actually save him somehow. I thought you could, but they don't seem to save. Which is a bit annoying that I have to type this every time. Maybe I should keep him by the side here or something. Maybe you have to change the file somewhere. But I'm basically looking for him to tap out so I can Sowing Salt slash a Colonnade at one point. Next turn this just hits for 4, but it's still good. We can flashback the Lingering Souls, and at one point he has to tap out, and the Sowing Salt is gonna kill a big deal of his offense. So let's say he plays land and I attack. He probably electrolyzes 2 of these, something like that. I assume he has Electrolyze here on these 2. Yeah. So that's fine. We expected that actually. So here we draw, play Temple Garden, take 2, and then go Sowing Salt on the slash a Colonnade. Show hand and library, please. I actually want to see his hand, which is obviously irrelevant. And I will also see how he sideboards. So he brings in an Engineered Exposed, maybe it's main deck, he brings in an extra Pyroclasm. He just has a Lightning Helix, but he can't actually cast it. So it is looking good for us. He's totally mana screwed because of the Sowing Salt. He brings in a Spell Skite as well. So we didn't sideboard in that much. So we'll attack with a token here, and then next turn we'll go for... what does he have in his graveyard? So Lightning Bolt, he can Snapcaster Lightning Bolt. But then Tarmogoyf next turn is gonna be good enough. So does play the island here. Untap draw. Declare attackers. Smash. Play a land, we'll keep it like this. So we can play Tarmogoyf around Mana Leak in case he top decked it. It actually resolves, and we'll also play or flashback Lingering Soul, seeing that his hand can contain that great amount of cards. So end turn we have 1, 2, 3, and he has an instant, so Tarmogoyf is a 4/5. So he has 2 unknown cards, but he has like, god damn it! I was winning that. Cockatrice connect. I actually think I can reconnect to the game. I hope I can. Yeah, I'm still in, so DC it. It's a great feature, so go ahead. I hope he's still here. Yeah, he is. Actually don't see. Oh, he played Steam Vent. So we'll draw, attack for 7. He Snapcasters, Lightning Bolts, he takes 2. Okay. He blocks the Tarmogoyf. Oh, I see. So end of turn he can flashback Lightning Bolt, targeting the Tarmogoyf, and the Tarmogoyf dies. So I think here I want to play Lingering Souls. Want to flashback it. Want to then end my turn. Now what does this do? Obviously he kills the Tarmogoyf, but it still applies enough pressure to put him lethal next turn, so he still has to have an out. And he has to have mana for it as well, which is basically the main issue. So I think the only card he can draw here is Pyroclasm. Yeah, he didn't draw it. So after sideboard we're 1-0 up. So yeah, and basically Sowing Salt won us that game. So obviously elects to play. We get a shitty hand because if that right gets killed, we lose. We do have 2 Geists though, and we're on the draw. I'll keep it. It's a really greedy keep, I think, and we might lose because of it, and we actually get rewarded by drawing Steam Vents. So with this we'll get Temple Garden and play Deathright Shaman end to turn. He gets a Hallowed Fountain, so he probably doesn't have an out for the Deathright, or not yet. They replace Sulphur Falls, so I assume he has a your land. And then we play a Geist. I assume he has a Mana Leak for it, which is fine for now. It actually resolves, I'm afraid here. I assume he has Pyroclasm then. Well, I guess not, seeing as he played Think twice. We can't actually remove Think twice because we don't have the mana for it. But if he doesn't have anything here, wow. So we did draw Molten Rain, so we'll attack with the Geist. And then remove this and play Molten Rain on the Hallowed Fountain. So he flashbacks Sting twice, that's fine. It takes an extra 2. So we end our turn here. And then next turn we can play Tarmogoyf. If he has removal for the Geist, which is highly unlikely. We'll attack. It goes down to 5. Main phase we can do 4 with Tribal Flames. It does run into Spell Snare, but so does Tarmogoyf, right? So we'll Tribal Flames. It resolves. It actually only does 4, but you conceded anyway. So we're 2-0 up currently because of our... It was a greedy keep in my opinion, and I think if it was a game where a lot of depends on, I probably wouldn't keep. So yeah, I think we'll play about 5 after sideboard and see how that is. Obviously, my sideboard doesn't bring that much extra to the game, and as you saw last time, actually won somehow. So we'll play that right now. Obviously, Steplings is a better card, but it also dies to a lot, and it dies out later. And I think having Molten Rain or Geist is really good. So we'll Arid Mesa for a stomping ground. So yeah, the sec is part of the activation cost, so I can activate for mana. Do you still want to make that play? Basically what's going on is I play a land, sacrifice it, and he goes back to exiling my response. I can always, anytime, seeing as sacrifice is a part of the activation cost, it's already in the graveyard as soon as it hits. As soon as it hits the graveyard, so even with the Path of Exile on the stack, I can always gain mana from it. So here I actually have a Geist in play now because of that, and I have extra mana. He has a Colonnade, so let's assume he has let's assume he has a Snapcaster Mage, so we actually want to play Molten Rain on the Colonnade. So he has to show what he has before doing anything, and he didn't have a Pyroclasm there, or he doesn't have the mana for it. So I think here I want to sacrifice this, even though it might not be good. And we get a Breeding Pool, just so we have all 5 colors. And we'll play a Deathrite Shaman with it. Obviously it runs into the possibility of getting Pyroclasm out, but it didn't have it last turn, so he has to draw it. So we're just trying to apply as much pressure as we can. He does have a red source here, but it's not gonna do enough. And the question is, what do we want to do? I think we attack with the Geist. Main phase 2, we cast Tribal Flames. So yeah, he didn't have a counter here, so he dies to it again. So we're currently 3-0 up after sight, and I think this is a better representation of how the matchup goes. It's we apply a lot of pressure and he has to find the right outs. And in the pre-sideboard he had this one-off Pyroclasm, stuff like that. And currently after sideboard isn't. I think it's more like an even matchup, depending on which cards he does draw. Now about this hand, it's not good. We do need some extra mana than that, and we're actually more likely to keep this, even though it doesn't actually apply pressure. You can't mulligan all the time or a lot. This deck does seem to mulligan a lot, though. I think the main issue, or the main reason because of that, is the fact that it only plays 21 lands, and a lot of the time you have to keep that in mind and take extra damage because of that. So here we do get a Stepling, so I'll cast that. See if it resolves. It resolves. I will play an Arid Mesa and attack with a Deathrite for 1. Damage. So this is currently a 2-3, and we are keeping this around just so it's safe from a Pyroclasm. It's obviously not safe from anything else, so we'll play this and attack for 2, 3. Why only 1? Lynx is 2, 3. So yeah, we are gonna keep both fetches around, just so we can avoid most removal on this. I know it seems weird to do that, and it actually is weird, but we are putting on a clock. This has the potential to do a lot of damage instantly, but we want to keep it around. And he's taking a bunch of damage here, by the way. So he's already down to 12. We have a Lightning Helix in hand. We have a Snapcaster Mage to get it back. And we can go for the kill eventually, but just not yet. So we'll attack here again. He goes down to 9. We'll end our turn. And then at the end of his turn we can cast Lightning Helix on him, or we can wait for a spot to cast Lightning Helix on him. I think we want to do it. Nah, we don't. I mean, we do have enough pressure here. We will take the 2 damage just because we have Tribal Flames. It goes down to 3, so there's no pressure for us, no pressure to do anything. It's his task to do something here. Obviously the Steplings isn't that great for us. We are going to have to crack fetches soon. So yeah, we do crack a fetch here, fuel library, and get the steam vents. So the Steplings does survive a Pyroclasm here. So it does pass the turn back to us. The question is, what do we want to do now, right? We can Lightning Helix him. He has to do something about it, I think. He has a Spell Snare, that's fine. We attack with the Lynx. He plays a Snapcaster. Say okay. He blocks, so we sacrifice this. Review our library. What just happened? Oh. What was it? The Mesa. So we get a Godless Shrine, so it has the red in it. So his Snapcaster dies. And then I think we played Shaman to play Shaman Geist. Then he has to have an out to that. I'm thinking here. So Geist represents lethal on its own already. I don't think that playing that right here is a good idea, just because it overextends into his board. Tribal Flames and Snapcaster also represents lethal. Snapcaster can also helix something. So I think we don't want to overextend into mass removal of him. So keeping that right in hand is the way to go. Obviously we don't have any extra lands at this point for the Steplings to grow, but the Geist is good, so he Sphinxes for 2, which is fine. So I assume he has a Spell Snare, seeing that he kept 1 mana open. But yeah, he's dead. It doesn't matter. Because we attack here. He takes 6. Yeah, he takes 6 and we can easily go there. So we're 3-0. And this is gonna be the last one for me, because I do have other obligations, sadly enough. I really wanted to play more. I'm still thinking about Null. So the problem with this hand is he has a fetch, so yeah, we're gonna keep this. And we do get lucky. Yeah, we're gonna play the Death Rite again. We did the same last time, but we want the Geist out there. We can also do the Lingering Souls, and if he has removal for this, that's fine. Oh, this is just 2. We did get lucky by drawing the Temple Garden, but nonetheless we could have done other things with it. So Spellskite is a great card. but sadly enough it does die to Tribal Flames. Now you might say, why do you target a Spellskite, right? We know it's the only one because of Sowing Salt. We saw his library with that. So there's no more Spellskites now, and it actually does block a decent amount of our creatures. So what to do here? I think we play Steplings. And then play a Breeding Pool untapped. And then play Noble Hierarch. Now you might say, why are you doing this? You're overextending Pyroclasm. That's true. Pyroclasm will 2 for 1 me. What is it gonna kill? Yeah, that's fine. Pyroclasm does 2 for 1 me. But then I know that the route for Geist is open. So he's wasting a lot of resources just to keep every creature off the board. So we'll play Lingering Souls here. We create token, just a 1/1 flying again. And end our turn. He can have Electrolyze for it, which is a great card against Lingering Souls that I have said before. So he does have the Battle Skull, that's fine, because we can kill the token with Tribal Flames. We fetch here. We should have fetched last turn, but... And what's the only land we need? I think it's just a mountain. So we do get a mountain here to prevent some damage to us. So we Tribal Flames the token. We flashback Lingering Souls. And we attack for 2. So end our turn then. The problem is that he can easily bounce Battle Skull and then play it again. And the amount of removal that I have for it is very limited. So we'll attack. Hope he doesn't do anything. He actually has a Cryptic for everything, so he taps down everything, that's fine. And then we play Geist. And we still have Snapcaster Tribal Flames for his bounce and play of the Battle Skull. He did get a Celestial Colonnade here. What does he have? He has Electrolyze for 2 tokens, okay. Yeah, that's you don't have to target the tokens, I think it's pretty obvious you want to kill the tokens there. So we'll attack for a bunch. This is 8 damage. Is 7 damage. So he's down to 8. So we'll end our turn. We don't want to run Snapcaster in Spell Snare yet. We want him to be forced into decisions. So it goes down to 1 here. Now he just has a Cryptic again. Holy shit, man. That's fine. I mean, doesn't actually do anything except just stall for a turn. The Colonnade is a big issue, by the way, and he did draw the Pyroclasm. It's fine. Why is it fine? Because we have a Geist. I think I want to get the planes here now, just so I can have stuff open. We have a Geist. He can mana leak it if he has it. It does resolve. And we also play the Tarmogoyf. If he has a Spell Snare, he can Spell Snare it, but then we have more for it. I think this might overextend into mass removal though. So it's a 4/5. He has to replay Battle Skull. I think it's a 4/5. No, it's actually a 5/6 because of Spellskite. So that's even better. So he doesn't do anything. We'll attack with both of these. No, he has another Cryptic command. That's fine. Oh my god. Again, the triple Cryptic, huh? If you haven't checked the last video, this guy had triple Cryptic then as well. So like, yeah, he can cast Battle Skull. Let's think about this. we attack, he blocks the Geist, he takes 5, he goes down to 6. We can Snapcaster, try to kill the token. We can just Lightning Helix this afterwards, and if he then kills the Geist, yeah, I think that's the way to do it. Lightning Helix afterwards. Okay, if he has the snare for it, he has a snare for it. This one dies then, and we just play another Geist and end the turn. So this is a really tough situation for him, seeing that I have Sowing Salt. I also have the Sowing Salt, just gets rid of a Colonnade. But he's also just at 6. We have Snapcaster Tribal Flames. His Bear Skull is useless at this point. I think the best thing he can do is Snapcaster, play Cryptic. And if he does that, he takes 5 from... If he does that, I'm actually gonna Sowing Salt his Celestial Colonnade. He gets Attack Edge. So we'll attack here. Yeah, I think he has a Snapcaster. No, he has something with 5 mana. Oh, okay. Angel, question mark. Angel also does 4, so total of 9. Sure you're not blocking Angel. So yeah, he blocks the Angel. I have Snapcaster for Tribal Flames. Okay, so those are the games here. After sideboard actually went a lot better, even though my sideboard isn't that great against him. So I think this is more like a matchup in my favor just because of Geist. I think the pre-sideboard things were a bit skewed, just randomness. And I'll see you for the next one.